have a little slide right here. I've been in this role for about a little bit over a year, and it's been a great adventure. You can see my team right there on the screen. If you ever want to work out, come to the rec. We will for sure give you a great workout. I've also been a yoga and Pilates instructor for 7 years now. I am a certified and also yoga certified with Yoga Alliance. And also this past year, I received a certification for yoga for trauma, which is part of where this conversation for today and mindfulness and exploring nervous system regulation comes from. Part of it is trainings that I've been in, and also part of it comes also from my personal experience being in therapy and learning more about my body. So we'll dive right in. These are the things that we're going to focus on: understanding our bodies. They're very intricate but beautiful. Understanding nervous system regulation. And then we'll go through a few techniques for grounding and mindfulness breathing. I want to give you tools and examples of things that you can do on the daily basis to help you self-regulate your nervous system and also calm you down, maybe in those times of stress where things feel like they're moving at 1,000 miles an hour. So that's my hope for today, if anything, for you to take away at least one thing that you can do on the daily. I'm going to try my best to make this entertaining and also engaging. The chat is open. If you have any questions, put them in the chat and we'll address them at the end. And we're going to try a few of those techniques today. But first, the meat and potatoes of our presentation today, I want you to understand a little bit about your own nervous system. As I said, our bodies are very intricate and beautiful. So today we're going to look at it on a very small portion. When you look at your nervous system, it's mainly comprised by two parts: the central nervous system, which is your brain, your computer, if you will, processing all the information, and then the peripheral nervous system, which is your nerves that are sending the information to your brain. Hello, good morning. I see the chat. Think about your nervous system almost like a nesting doll. The more you go in, the smaller it gets, and there's more information there. I love this graphic on the screen as it really helps you understand what your nervous system looks like. Today, we're going to look at the peripheral nervous system specifically. So the nervous system that collects all the information and then sends it to the brain. We do have the somatic nervous system, which is the nervous system in charge of voluntary movement. So that is the information about moving your body, moving your muscles, moving your joints. And then the autonomic nervous system, which is really what we're going to focus on today. It is the nervous system that controls the involuntary bodily functions, like your heart rate, digestion, breathing. So all those functions that are literally happening right now and you're not even thinking about it. Those functions are, that nervous system plays a crucial role in regulating your internal organs. So your stomach, your liver, your heart. And we want to make sure that we are mindful about regulating our autonomic nervous system in those times of stress where we're feeling like our chest gets tight, or we get really, really stressed and we feel like we almost cannot function properly because we're not balanced as much. So still looking at the autonomic nervous system, I tried to make it engaging, and because I am a Harry Potter nerd, I had to bring Harry Potter in it, so bear with me. The autonomic nervous system is divided into almost contrasting characters. We have the sympathetic nervous system, which is in charge of your fight or flight response. So if there's a bug, you see the bug, you're freaked out, especially if you're like me and you're afraid of spiders. Hence Ron Weasley freaking out because there's a spider. And then the parasympathetic nervous system is in charge of your rest and digest, not just digesting food, but also digesting information, digesting things that happen to us. So in this case, it would be our very smart Hermione Granger who tells Ron, you have to relax. So it's important that both systems work as a team together. We want to make sure that when we are in a stressful situation and when there is danger, that our sympathetic nervous system does activate. Because if a car is coming toward your way, you want to be able to move out of the route. But if there's a bug and the bug is on the outside of the window, you're fine. You should be able to calm down. So let's look more at the self-regulation. Today we're going to talk about the vagus nerve. It's a nerve that goes through your body along the spine. It starts from the throat and goes all the way down, and it does connect to all the organs that you see on the slide. So when you get triggered and you get anxious, you'll feel oftentimes your chest starts to tighten. Your throat may feel like it closes. That's because the vagus nerve that runs through your body and connects to those muscles, they're actually contracting. They're literally contracting. That's why we feel that tightness in the chest. And you can start recognizing those signals and you can start realizing, okay, I'm getting a little anxious. I definitely had some anxiety before this presentation, a little butterflies in my stomach. So in those moments, we want to try and activate our parasympathetic nervous system, the Hermione of the situation, to tell us you have to relax, you're okay, you're safe. So the fun part, that was the meat and potatoes. We're done with the science, and now we can actually look at things that we can do. Some of them will feel silly, but that's the beauty of it. Because laugh actually helps you as well to self-regulate. So first and foremost, looking at grounding techniques. I think one of my favorite grounding technique is the sensory orientation, because it's so easy. It's accessible. You can do it at any moment. You don't need space. You can just go with it. So we want to think about using our senses to activate our parasympathetic nervous system. You can think about 5 things you see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 that you can smell, and 1 that you can taste. So I want you to just take a moment right now. We're going to use the chat function, and I want you to type in the chat 1 thing you can see in your space right now. Just look around and type. Yesterday I was driving, and funnily enough, I was telling Miranda earlier this morning, a lamp, a coffee pot, I see it. Keep going. And I was driving, there was a spider on my window and it was inside of the car. I freaked out. I almost swerved, reached the red light, and then I started going through this. I started thinking, what are 5 things that I can see? Orange, green, car, red light, sky. And then I went through it. By the time the light turned green, I was back fully in control, back in the driver's seat, pun fully intended. So steering wheel, yeah, see all these things that you can see. Can you tell me 1 thing you can hear other than my voice? That's obvious. 1 thing you can hear. A fan, yes. A phone ringing, yes. Air conditioning, yeah, that white noise in the background. Beautiful. So those are all things, again, that you can do literally wherever you are. And if we have conditions or, some of our senses may be less prone to working, that's totally fine. You can still participate at the best of your ability. Beautiful. Thank you so much for putting in the chat. So the other part is, the second technique, it's humming. We said that the vagal nerve runs through the body and through the throat. So if you hum, you can try it in your office right now if you're by yourself, but even if people are around, you can just close your mouth and just slowly hum a tune that you like or something that pops in your mind. And even if you're talking, you'll hear the vibration, you'll feel the vibration in your throat. That is a soothing vibration that helps your vagal nerve to calm down. So just humming will trigger your brain to kind of slow down and think about something else instead of a threat or something that is stressing you out. And then the vibrations will actually stimulate your vagal nerve, bringing your parasympathetic nervous system online. Last of our grounding techniques for today is yawning. I put that picture on there specifically because I swear while making my presentation, every time I see that picture, I then start yawning. You can trigger a yawn by faking a few yawns, but yawning brings your part of your brain that supports self-reflection and memory retrieval. So of those times where you feel safe, where you feel like you can rest and you can restore, it triggers that part of your brain, making you feel like, again, I'm okay and I'm relaxed. So again, those are things you can do every day. Mindful breathing, I'm definitely partial to this because I teach yoga a lot and we practice those breathing techniques often in our classes. So we have three beautiful, slightly different versions of our breathing today. Today we're going to try the box breathing, so four-part box breathing. I want you to just find a comfortable seat, or if you're standing, and that's fine as well, just get comfortable. You can close the eyes or you can find a soft gaze. And we're just going to breathe for a few moments here. I'm going to catch my breath too. So we're going to take a deep inhale through the nose. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the top. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it at the bottom. Maybe relax the shoulders a bit. And let's do another round. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding the sip at the top. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding at the bottom. And then slowly opening the eyes. How do you feel? That should have already kind of slowed down your heartbeat. I know for me, it definitely did. I feel more calm. Type in the chat. How do you feel after just 2 rounds of breathing? Do you feel any difference? Calmer. Yeah. Your heart more relaxed. Yeah, especially thinking about relaxing their shoulders. It just gives you, yes, more subtle. It gives you a chance to just settle down, bring that heart rate down, and just feeling more connected with your own body. So it's a beautiful way to practice breathing. Feeling like a cloud. I love that. Yes. So you altogether feel more relaxed. Ball breathing is very similar, slightly different in the sense that it actually elevates your heart rate just slightly because it's more warming breath, if that makes sense. So we use this a lot sometimes in a warm up during a yoga class. And you literally just imagine that you have a ball on your lap. Sometimes you actually I'm going to scooch back. You bring your hands on your lap and you feel that ball expanding and then deflating as you breathe. I love that graphic. I put that there very intentionally because sometimes some of us, we need visual reminders. So that's something that you can breathe along with. Inhaling as it expands and exhaling as it deflates. There's so many graphics out there. There's also apps that can help you with that. It increases your heart rate a little bit, but again, it brings you back into the moment. It brings you back to what your body feels in the moment rather than whatever else is going on the outside. And then the last one of our breathing techniques for today is diaphragm breathing. So specifically focusing on the sensation in the body as you're breathing. So those organs as they expand, specifically the lungs. And you can do that simply by bringing a hand on the chest, a hand on the tummy, and breathing and feeling those sensations, hearing the sound of your heart and the air as it goes through your lungs. It's very much so a technique that brings you back to your own body. I often cue this in a yoga class whenever maybe I hear people are not feeling that great in that day and they might feel disconnected from their own body. So it brings you back to where you are in that moment on that day. And then muscular release. As we said, the vagus nerve and the parasympathetic nervous system is connected to a lot of our internal organs. When we do get stress, that also shows up in our muscles. We get stressed. A lot of us, shoulders go up to the ears as we go throughout the day, or maybe we roll in because we feel that tightness in the chest. Our joints may feel really bound and really stiff because we're going into that fight or flight, bringing the knee up and just getting ready to literally fight. So we can use muscular release to help us release the muscles and get back to that ground zero where we feel like we're not about to have to go into a fight. My most favorite is the neck stretch because I do hold a lot of tension in my shoulders. So my shoulders will tend up to come up to the ears, especially if I'm at work and it's a really busy day and stressful day and I'm typing all day, those shoulders will come up. So today we're going to try that because it's very easy to get into it. You're going to sit comfortably, or if you're standing, that's totally fine too. I want you to reach with your right hand, reach for the bottom of your chair. So grab onto your chair, or if you're standing, just reach the heel of your hand down toward the ground. And then you're going to tilt your head away from that right side, thinking left ear to the left shoulder. Maybe you close the eyes, you go back to that breath. And just feeling that stretch on the side of the neck, stretching the neck and the top of the shoulders. You can even play with the head, maybe looking down. The stretch will travel to where the back side of the neck. You can even add more weight by bringing the hand onto the ear. And the most important part here is to just take deep exhales and relax those shoulders. And then release. We'll do the same thing on the other side because we want to be balanced. So grabbing onto the chair, tilting the head away. You can bring the hand onto the ear if it feels good. And then slowly breathing out. And then release. So again, that really helps the muscles. It helps you to relax. It helps you breathe in the moment while you do the exercise. So it will help you come back to that ground zero. Again, the vagus nerve does run through the neck and through the throat. So those muscles will often get tight when we're stressed. So we want to be mindful and relax them. Another technique is gentle shaking. If you have a dog, you've probably noticed your dog will just sometimes get up and just shake, or when they're nervous, maybe there's a storm outside, they will shake their entire body. What they're doing, they're gaining stiffness probably out of their bodies if they've been laying down for a while. They are self-regulating their own nervous system, and then they're also regulating body heat. For us, it works very similar. We can shake and remove tension from the body just by getting that heart rate up, circulating the blood, and then also self-regulating ourselves. Again, getting that blood flowing and getting ourselves into the sensation of the body. You can do that anywhere. You shake, maybe even if you're sitting and you don't have a lot of space, you can just shake the hands and you will feel the blood rushing down toward your extremities. And it's almost like a tingling sensation. It's super fun. I actually did it right before this presentation. You can go on my Instagram and there's proof there. It does help you to get silly and laugh at yourself and just shake all the wiggles and all the anxiety out. And the last one is rhythmic tapping. You might see some people that when they feel stressed, they'll do this. It might be something that they're doing just unconsciously because they feel stressed and they're trying to connect to themselves, and it expresses frustration, but also it actually brings you back. You feel your head, you feel your body. So with gentle hands and usually like just your pointer fingers, you can just simply tap your body, going through the body. You can maybe use the hands and tap on the thighs. Again, it does stimulate your amygdala and hippocampus, bringing the stress hormone down, but it also brings you back to your body. When our heads want to go to far places and maybe places that stress us out, we just want to come back to our own body and come back to what is happening in this moment versus maybe something that is happening far in the future or that might not even happen yet. Sometimes we get really stressed and we start thinking about things that are hypothetical and that might not happen yet. So those are a few of the muscular release exercises. There are plenty more out there. Bottom line is, vagus nerve runs through your body. It does affect your organs inside of your body. First thing you want to do when you're feeling stressed is assessing where the stress is. And then, oh, great question. Is it better to tap randomly or tapping? Honestly, if you can add on a tune, that would be great because you're connecting connecting the brain to a tune that maybe might bring you joy or might trigger a memory that makes you feel safe. And then also tapping to actually stimulate your body into feeling, into when you feel something on your body, you know that you're present, you know that you're alive, you know that you're there in that moment and not just in your head. So that's a great question. Absolutely. But yeah, you just want to come back to your own body. Again, these techniques can all be used during high stress times. They can be used on a daily basis. I stretch my neck at least twice a day, but they can also be used on those times where we feel a panic attack coming. If you struggle with panic attacks like I do, they feel very real. So making sure that we snap out of it and just come back to where we feel safe and our parasympathetic nervous system is able to come online instead of the sympathetic nervous system. Another one I did not put on here, but I'll go ahead and just mention it. In those times where like you feel like there's a panic attack coming, or maybe you are feeling a panic attack, ice water. If you have really cold water, drinking cold or any liquid for that matter, drinking something cold will help you literally trick your mind into feeling, oh, okay, I am okay. Like it takes your focus away from whatever is your stressor in that moment and like coming back to your body. So chewing on a cube of ice, drinking something cold, I find it very helpful. Those are all the techniques that we're looking at today. We do have a couple more minutes, so I'm just going to touch on this because I know some of you will have questions about it. As a faculty and staff, you can join UREC by going online and purchasing a membership. Memberships are $28 a month for faculty and staff and also dependents. So if you have a spouse or if you have children, they can also, as long as the children are over 16, they can actually join the rec center, and you have access to all these facilities, 3 facilities on campus, including all of our group exercise classes that we put on the schedule. The QR code is on there for all of our classes currently being offered. We have classes from cycle, yoga, we have water aerobic classes, we have strength classes. We literally have them almost all. And then you also have access to all of our sports complex. So basketball, tennis, pickleball is really big right now. And also the outdoor pool complex in the summer. So if you have kiddos, that's really helpful, bringing them to the pool in the summer. And I didn't put it on here. I forgot. Outdoor recreation. You can still come to the outdoor recreation office here, and you can rent a bike. You can rent all camping gear if you want to go camping with your family. You can also join some of our awesome trips that we put up. You literally pay, you just show up, have fun, which is super great. But yeah, so if you want to come to UREC, I would highly say come and join us. Let's see. There's a question in here. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Okay, so Miranda already answered that question. If you have any questions about UREC or about anything that we've touched on today, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we can look.